what the hell does it mean?
What does it mean to be
a fearless comic in 2025?
I don't know that I can speak from the throne with the crown
There's
of
no
the
throne.
king
No
of
crown.
fearlessness.
Not
of
as
comedy.
a not
I don't
as
know
a
that I can-
guru, but as a guide.
as a guy who does comedy and has an awareness that I try not to pay attention to the trends in comedy. And that's probably for better or worse. I don't know. But I just never, and so if that's that, and also everything is so fractured now that there's so many subsections of comedy that, and I feel like I've always been kind of doing a similar type of comedy. I've been doing a similar type of comedy since I started, and there were trends then, and then they morph and change, and then there's politics get in, and then politics moves into one circuit, and then moves into another one, and then there's a certain, like maybe there's what they called alt comedians, and then there's what they called, club comedians, and then what's called kind of more like, broy road comedians, and I don't know that those terms even were like, because maybe some of those guys who are saying we are the, we're the say whatever you want people, maybe they were at some point could have been aligned with alt, but alt doesn't quite mean the same thing because the industry has changed. But then there's also there's also, I had another observation. Let me for a second for me to finish it. So, but there's also like trends now. Like I know that there's a big clown trend going on. Like there's a big a trend. I shouldn't say like trend because I don't want to offend anyone who loves it. Because there's a lot of people I respect who love it. But yeah, it's got tenets of stuff that I always enjoy, but I don't personally say that I do clown or anything like that. But
you mean old traditional? What do we think of as clowns? But it's modernized.
Well, there's an art form called clown.
Okay,
and I think it's different from mime. Sure, and there are a few teachers in LA and New York who, I would say maybe 8-9 years ago started kind of coming around and teaching classes and stuff. And then there's a few people out there who do stuff and call it clown. They say I'm a clown or I have a clown philosophy or whatever. I don't. But I'm more into context, And like, so like I like to be a stand-up and go on a show where there's other stand-ups, and then their stand-up might be one thing that seems one way, and then I think, how can my stand-up like hit some notes that I don't think I've seen hit this night yet. So the fearless element, the fearless question, that part, what was the part you said about though, like saying what you want? The fearless part. I
don't know. Maybe the two don't go hand in hand.
I think that there's because some people will always say like, you're a comedian? Oh man, that sounds like the hardest thing in the world. I find that like there's more versus for me, I don't pay attention to trends. I try to pay attention to my own strengths and weaknesses.
What do they mean by that when they say that? What are they talking about?
That sounds so hard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you think?
It's hard to get up and
they
talk in front of people, or it's hard
telling jokes in front of people,
or it would be hard for them to not offend people, or it could mean a lot of different things.
I guess it could mean a lot of different things. The way I always take it is that they think that must be so hard to go up there in front of people and stand in front of people, and it must be so hard to go up there and tell a joke and bomb, or tell a joke and not have it go well, or try that out. And I would say that like I noticed through my years of doing it that I have strengths where sometimes I'm really good at one thing that I've focused on, and then maybe I don't focus on that for a few years or a while, and then it gets not quite as sharp, but I focused on a different thing.
To my elements of your show or of your kind of your performance and things like that?
So, yeah. Like, so, or even like, for example, I used to run a lot of shows in LA, and so I'd host most of them. And when I would host, I would just riff and make stuff up and spend a lot of time on the stage at the beginning. It was my show, so the stakes were like, I could do whatever I want. No one, and I would book, people. And that was nice because I could just ramble and find jokes and riff and practice crowd work. I don't do that now, really. I don't have a regular show that I go up and I feel like no one's watching, no one's filming with their phone, no one is looking at their phone. It's just this me in the back in this weird back room goofing off, by myself. And so therefore, when I do stand up regularly, I'm not quite as loose as I feel like I was when I was doing that. Do you get what I'm saying?
You have more your set you want to say?
I would do. Well, I would say I have like what I've written.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on every Sunday I host a show. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I go up and do a local set somewhere. When I was hosting that show for long stretches of time every week, those shows that I would go do my prepared set for would wind up being much looser and more free. And I'd get a joke in the middle. I'd tell a joke, and in the middle of the joke, it would occur to me to start improvising something funny. I don't know that like that strength is as strong now as it was then, but I know I could get it back. Yeah. Same with like sometimes I feel like, I used to write more jokes. I used to write better jokes. Well, it's like if you don't write, then you're not writing, but, or sometimes the jokes just come to you, So I think in terms of like, for me, like muscles, I got real good at doing this one time, Well, I focused on doing this instead. And so I got a little better at that. I still got the ability to do this. Right. I just didn't focus on that. I got to focus on that. And then, that's getting a little stronger. I'm getting a little better. Same with like, I used to do a lot of the physical comedy stuff. I don't do that as much. Part of that's like,
you can break yourself off.
What's that?
You can break yourself off.
Yeah. I could hurt myself.
Yeah.
I broke my bone. I broke my wrist once, twice. So I don't do that stuff as much. I'm 44, you know what I mean? But I saw an old clip, we're both trying to be online more with video clips. And so I was like, well, I should put some old stand-up clips online. Let's try to find some videos. And I saw one. I was like, I was pretty good at that physical comedy stuff. But now I'm like, that's okay. I got other strengths. Even if I'm not good at, if I can't fall off a stage or feel more apprehensive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'd fall face forward and everybody goes, ow, because like you didn't look like you slowed yourself down at any point.
That was the thing. I didn't know.
That's how.
I kind of had some instinct about how to fall properly. I learned it, but I didn't always know what I was doing.
Didn't always put it into play.
So I did, So sometimes like I was not. You
didn't trigger it right on time. You got to trigger that thing. But I don't know.
The physical. I just wasn't. I don't think I think I'm not trained. I'm not a clown. I'm not a stunt person. So I would really just like
hurt yourself,
take the fall, And I thought I can take it, doesn't hurt. And you start to learn from doing it over and over how to fall correctly. But like, I guess it's that thing. It's like if you're not falling on the regular, I'm forgetting how to hold my body.
Yeah.
I try to get out of the habit of saying, you do, like you or whatever.
Did you ever bust your glasses? Falling on your face?
Did I bust my glasses?
Yeah.
And that's how my phone was fixed.
Man, I saw you do at least one or two really hard face falls. That was like, I was like, damn, did he like?
I think I might have cut my eyebrow once when I was real young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I did it like But I never really, I think the worst was I broke my wrist one time.
Sheesh.
Surgery
The scar. I see it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.